When we did this public performance in Shenshipou, we used the line formed by falling gravel to demonstrate the concept of boundaries. During the time I lived in Sekime, I found a really interesting phenomenon that Taipei Road acts as a boundary across the road from my apartment in Shenshipou, and yet two neighborhoods on either side of the road feel entirely different from each other. On the one side is a quiet and peaceful residential area, while the other is bustling and crowded. So I shared my discovery with Sandy, Celia, and Ellen. We all were interested about that phenomenon, so we decided to further investigate Shenshipou and dive deeper into our observations.
Yeah, we found that it's not the only boundary. There are still three more, like the Tongzhou Street. One side gathers a lot of homeless people, while the other side of the street are the high-class buildings. And the Second Main Street, the petty stores rise up in recent years in one side, and on the other side are still many lifestyle stores remain. And the Yamzhou Street, like the Taipei Street, separates the silent living district from the busy Shenshipou area. Those four street boundaries enclose the chaotic Shenshipou area.
Through our research, the four boundaries were formed with a long period of urban planning, reconstruction, and also transformation. And this boundary has been hidden in the lives of local residents for a long time.
The center of Shenshipou is labeled as a dangerous area. The people there are from different countries and there are various kinds of shops. The buildings and populations there are very dense. People might think the formation of these four boundaries and the impression that Shenshipou is full of slums are attributed to historical reasons because it has been a refugee gathering space last century, but actually people not think about that it is largely due to the urban planning.
So when we think about how to express our concept of boundary, we think about the lights, the stones, and the tapes, and so on. After repeatedly testing several materials, we found that the graphos is the best choice to express our concept. For one thing, the grapho is part of the nature that people will take it for granted and will not pay too much attention to it. For another thing, under the people's hurry steps, the graphos will finally eventually dissipate into the environment like it never exists. That kind of feeling is just like the surroundings around us had changed, but no one noticed what happened.
Well, to create this effect, we took gravel and put it in the environment bag so that we use every day, and we cut a small hole in the corner of the bag. So when we walk on the street, the gravel leaked out of the hole and created a line, which symbolized the boundary we want to represent. Choosing to execute this performance at night was intentional. We want to highlight how changes often occur quietly and go unnoticed during the day when the gravel gradually blends into the environment under people's footsteps.
Through our performance on these 4 streets, we hope to raise people's awareness about this phenomenon and encourage people to realize how urban planning affects our daily lives, especially when we are part of the community.